Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader, where I'm finally going to give you a health update. I apologize, y'all, that I wasn't on yesterday to give you an update. It was my plan to be. However, y'all, I spent the day either in bed or on the couch or at the porcelain throne getting sick. Not a virus. It is a side effect of the Trulicity. I ate from home, so it wasn't like an additive or a preservative I didn't know about, but I had some chili cheese dog, a chili cheese dog, and it must have been too high in fat because it certainly wasn't spicy to me anyway. And y'all, whoo-wee goodness. Yeah, I was sick all day. Let me just leave it at that. I just felt terrible. And I want to say, you know, y'all, sometimes I think the stars align and the Lord hears your requests and your prayers. We've been having some nice warm weather, 40s and 50s. Well, yesterday it was so cold. And today it's in the teens. But yesterday it snowed. And so my girlies didn't want to come out all day. So I didn't have to tend to the chickens or solve any chicken drama, because sometimes we have chicken drama. A couple days ago, before that, my girls threw an absolute fit, and there was a barn owl on my deck railing, and owls can be predators to chickens. So they were like, Mom, help us. They're perfectly safe, but it was interesting. So anyway, that's why I didn't give you an update yesterday. That's why I don't look so good. You know, the only good thing I can say when I have these episodes is each one can be a learning experience. So I'm starting to learn it's not just a high fat, which I'm sure that was a high fat content. It's high fat content on a very empty stomach. Okay, so that was my first meal, y'all. I don't always eat breakfast for breakfast, and I was really hungry because I hadn't eaten dinner the night before. So the good thing about it is I'm learning things, and also it helps with my weight control, but it's not a way I would at all choose. So, you know, I'm drinking diet orange soda because I wanted something kind of bubbly to settle my stomach. I've been able to keep down 2 pieces of toast this morning, so yay for me. So let me take you back to Friday when I saw the cardiologist. First, let me just say, it has been my experience in the past to have specialists who are not the nicest people in the world, who can be very short with you, very judgmental, not interested in your own feedback. And I am super pleased with this cardiologist. He's wonderful. You know how you just kind of hit it off with somebody? Very friendly. I would say a little younger than me, maybe 10 years younger than me. Maybe not, but he kind of looked it. You know, I'm trying to pick docs that aren't going to retire due to age before I don't need a doctor anymore. So anyway, what had happened the day before I went was I had a really bad episode, y'all, with irregular heart rate, like a really bad one. There are some things you can do sometimes when your heart gets out of sync to put it back into sync. Coughing hard, Valsalva maneuver, you know, hold your nose and blow. I couldn't get it to stop, and it wasn't from caffeine. So having an Apple Watch, you can take your own EKG. I took an EKG, and I thought, well, it's really bad. But it finally settled down, and that episode lasted for about 2 hours. And that day, I was having a lot of shortness of breath symptoms. So when we got in and we started talking, and he had fully reviewed my record. That's another thing. I hate it when you make an appointment and they're like, well, what can I do for you today? Well, I don't know. I thought maybe we'd go out to eat. Come on with it, you know. But he was up to what up on what was my problem. He's the one that had read my Holter monitor. I'm so sorry, y'all. These hiccups are miserable. And I had explained to him that I thought that a lot of my, careful what I say, irregular heart rate was related to caffeine, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Well, he got very interested. He was like, oh, give me your phone. Let me see that. He actually had me send it into my electronic health record. And so he gets out, his phone and does his calculations. And what this showed is that 14% of the time, if this happened on a regular basis, my heart's not beating effectively, so it doesn't give it a chance to fill up before it contracts, and then it has some delay in that, as it is with my other issue. So in other words, my blood's not circulating, and that's exactly what I had said. It feels like I'm not getting oxygenated blood, especially like if I climb the stairs. That kind of exertion really gets to me. Anyway, that was quite different than just the Holter monitor. So I may be, like, sometimes I know I'm having them, and then sometimes, like, if you're sleeping, I don't. He thinks that's a part of it, but the treatment, and it is a medication, but you go, I got to do what I got to do. I can't keep going on like this. They can't give that medication if you have any clogged arteries that supply your heart muscle. So again, if you think about people who said, oh, I've had open heart surgery, or I had a bypass, or a quadruple bypass, there's different things they can do now. They don't always have to open your chest. They have balloons to kind of stretch the vessels back open. They have stents, which is kind of like a straw that they put inside the artery. So what we have to do next is a couple tests, one of which unfortunately is private pay, but it's $99, and he feels it's very important. It's a calcium something test. I've never heard of it before. It will show in your heart any calcifications. So that's, or hardening. Like you've heard older people say, well, I have hardening of the arteries. Well, yeah, that's what they mean. Then the other is a stress test. And the unknown is, can I endure with my shortness of breath long enough to get my heart rate up long enough for them to get a reading? If the answer to that is no, and I honestly don't know, and I've shared that concern with him, then they will have to go back to the drawing board and do what's called a chemical stress test. I don't even want to know what that is. Y'all, I was never a cardiac nurse, so some of these things I don't know. And things have changed dramatically since I graduated in 1981 from nursing school. So next steps are, can't treat anything. So I'm still gonna feel this way until I get those test results. The one test that I'm paying for is done on March 11th. The other test, we're still waiting on insurance, and probably will for quite some time. They said it takes a week to a week and a half to get approval, because he's asking for not just the walk on the treadmill, something else, some other kind of scan. I don't know. I don't quite understand it all, but I trust him. And that's a big thing. When you go to a specialist, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze, and you feel heard, whoo, goodness, guys, sorry, and understood, and you don't feel like someone's talking. Sorry, y'all, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm done now. They're not talking down to you, but they're also not talking over your head. One of the questions, and I knew it was going to come up, so I hit it head on, was, do you have chest pain? And I said, I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't want you to think I'm trying to be dramatic. I don't know. And I explained to him, I'm on Trulicity. I have a lot of reflux and heartburn and GI symptoms. So I don't know if it's just discomfort from my heart or if it's just discomfort from my GI system. And he said, absolutely, it makes perfect sense. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference unless the chest pain event was so dramatic, like you're having a heart attack. It would progress, or you'd have it in your jaw, etc., which I've not had jaw pain. So to feel like someone's like, I hear you, I get you. No, I don't think you have 3 heads. We did talk a little bit about my lungs. You know, I know that's been a question from some of you all. I'm always very open and honest. I used to be a smoker, and y'all just, I know it's bad, right? I know it's bad. You'd be surprised at the number of nurses that were smokers back in the day, you know. Anyway, you think it's a stress reliever, but it's not. So I am 10 years plus a little bit out of smoking. He said you have to be at the 20-year mark until you're considered to be at 0 risk. And he said you're never at 0 risk, but at 0 risk from heart trouble from smoking. So I'm in a better place, but I'm still in that window where, yes, I could have caused some heart damage from smoking. I've also had a lot of years where my cholesterol was not under good control. And so he was not going to tell me just by looking at me and listening to me, well, I think your coronary arteries are clogged, because I have some of the symptoms, but not all. He alluded to perhaps that was my problem. Now, if we go through all these tests and my blood vessels are healthy, then we will go back to treating the irregular heart rate and try to see if we can't get the shortness of breath cleared up from the diastolic dysfunction. And I certainly hope so. If all of these symptoms are in actuality caused by heart disease, you know, by my arteries being plugged, then getting those cleared out by whatever it's going to take. And I would say it's early. I pray it's early on, and I won't have to have like the fillet of chest, you know, kind of a thing. But you know, only the Lord knows that, and I'm gonna have to take it day by day. Pardon me. Hold on, apologies, y'all. One of the things that makes me suspect, and I'll be daggone, I could not find the test to show him. It's in my medical record, but it's an old one. It might even be like 10 years old, and I got tired of looking. One of the tests that I had for a CT scan for my spine showed some heart disease. It was never thought to mean anything. It was never investigated, but I'll be daggone, I can't find that. So I don't know. A spine surgeon isn't going to worry about an ancillary finding of you got some calcification or hardening of some arteries if you're asymptomatic and young, which I would have been, or younger. I guess I wasn't young. So anyway, guys, I hope that clears it up. I apologize for not getting back with you. Some of you have reached out to me privately. Y'all, I don't know what is up with me sneezing. I have sneezed all morning. And I really appreciate that. I wanted to tell you about Mr. Sir Frankie Sweetie Pants, who's laying here by the register vent waiting for the heat to kick on again. It is cold in the house, so I turned the heat up. He knows when I don't feel good. And you know how he likes to have a sink drinks, and Frankie can be really annoying. Like, pet me, mama, I need this, I need that. and he'll go bang on the cupboard door when he wants a drink, and then sometimes it just becomes a game and he really isn't thirsty, but it's fun to watch my mom get up and, I'm coming. He was an angel yesterday, all night even, because I was in the bed all night, loving on me. I did have some coughing, which it's probably the dry heat, right? Just a little tickly cough. And every time I cough, he'd come up, "Are you okay, Mom? Because I love you." I mean, he has been the sweetest cat on the face of the planet. And when I got up this morning, I'm like, "You want your drinky?" And he did. Boy, I tell you, he's had like 5 of them. His poor little belly's probably full of liquid, but I'm really glad that he was patient with me yesterday. The chickens weren't real needy yesterday. I do have to get out there and give them, I'm sure the water's frozen with it being 15 degrees. I have to give them some water and check their food and see if there's any eggies. I am getting some. So what's next, guys, for the channel? Y'all, I'm just gonna keep trying. That's all I can tell you. I'm just gonna keep trying. Days like yesterday, there's no possible way I can make a video. Days where I'm very short of breath or under the weather, so to speak, I'm not gonna make a video. And one of the people that emailed me said, basically, I know you want to do YouTube, but health is your priority, and that's the absolute truth. I don't want to do anything now by overextending myself that's going to make it worse for me in the long run. So I've been trying to listen to my body. That's a new thing. And y'all, oh, I haven't even shared my dental update. I've got to give the dentist a call first of the week because I could not keep my appointment. Long story, from nausea. I can't get impressions when I'm nauseated because I'll throw up, and I don't want to do that. But I think I'll be okay for this week. And I don't think I'll have any tests this week, so fingers crossed. I'm going to try to do some content, y'all. I still haven't ordered my seeds, and it's March 1st. The only thing, and this is a big change for me, the only thing I think I might pre-start is my, if I get them ordered, is my melon seeds, because our growing season is so short and they're 80 to 90 days, which we do have an 80 to 90 day growing period, frost-free period, but that's 80 to 90 days once they're a seedling. So I need to get those started up and talk about how I'm going to change up my gardening plans and why, and maybe for some of you who are struggling with your health or just, you know, getting older and you don't want to do as much. I'm wondering how much of my problem's that. No, my mind is willing, but my body just says, huh. So anyway, y'all, thank you for sticking with me. As always, if you want to go back and watch some of my older videos, some playlists, I would love that. It really does keep me in the algorithm because I've completely fallen off for sure. So I know some of you do that, and I do appreciate it. Let it play in the background. You don't have to necessarily watch it. Just pretend like you are, right? No, seriously, there's a lot of good information. If you're excited about garden season and you want to see like what's a full garden season look like for me, I have a gardening playlist that goes back several years, so you can take a look at that as well. All right, guys, I hope to see you a little bit later this week. I don't know, but I'm gonna hope so. And if you would do me a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop me a comment below. Is there any content that you would like to see, like discussion format, where I don't have to be too active and short of breath? Except when I have a good day, I can do it, but I don't have very many of those, y'all. I would love to make video content that you're very interested in. So I got my grocery order in, I've paid my bills, I need to do a load of laundry, and then I think I'm gonna rest a little more today. I did order a few bland things that I normally wouldn't order because Well, one is they have sugar, and two is I usually would make it myself, but I'm gonna have some Jello cups. I ordered some of those and some pudding cups in a bland flavor. Those two things sounded good, and I know the pudding will at least have some protein, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to eat today. All right, guys, I will see you all very soon, but until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.